Hey everybody, it's Nick James here from Hotspawn, and I'm joined by the greatest Golden Guardians Academy coach of all time.
Oh my God!
The one, the only.
Yes, there's a steep list, of course.
Yeah. Listen, it's real tough working under the tyrant that is Nick Nero Smith.
That is very true.
Yeah.
The man just works his guys like a horse. So.
Yeah. I've seen him with like the Indiana Jones bullwhip. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
It's a good thing he has Reapered with him just to keep him in check.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So the reason I've requested you is I'm collecting all the Canadians at the event.
Okay.
We've gotten JoJo, we've gotten Dylan Falco.
Nice.
We've gotten Masu, and now it's onto you and Azael, who I think completes the 5-fecta.
That is the 5-fecta. That is true.
Yeah.
I think that's all of us as Canadians.
Perfect. So we'll start with 8 years ago was the last time LoL Esports came to Canada. Same arena. Same place,
yes.
Same city. It was 2017 Spring Finals.
Yep.
Jensen versus TSM, or C9 versus TSM, but famous Jensen Chrono Break.
That's what we all remember.
What were you doing in 2017 in relation to League? And what do you think 2017 you would say if he saw where you are now and the journey that you've gone on?
It's pretty crazy. Back in 2017, I was in Australia at the time for the LPL. Mm-hmm. So I had made some moves, I guess. 2016, I was in North America with Dignitas, but then I had made the transition to commentary. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy, because it's been a long ride. In 2017, I sucked, bro. I thought transitioning...
Hard disagree, because I watched you then, but okay, I'll let you say it.
Moving from 2016, where I felt like as a coach, I was like, okay, I had like the game knowledge at the time, but being able to communicate that
for sure,
concisely, like in an entertaining way, all these things, like I have to really work at it. I just say, keep working hard. I think it's always been something, if I've ever been frustrated with my level of work, it's like, put in the time and you will see the results.
Yep, just keep doing the thing.
Yep.
Awesome. So the next thing is, often I think Canada can feel like a little bit of an afterthought in LTAN, right?
Yep.
Like it's like American teams, WTF is a kilometer.
Yep.
And then meanwhile, no disrespect to our NA buddies, but it's our superstar AD carry that's hard carrying them through,
Preach.
Yeah. What's the nationality of the first EU export for NA?
Ooh,
Canadian.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're making good
Who's
points.
the coach of the greatest EU team of all time? A Canadian.
Boom.
So, it doesn't need to be a whole big thing, but what do you feel about like an attachment to Canadian players when they enter the LCS? Because I know as soon as I found out that like Scheiden's Canadian, that Sniper's Canadian, I'm like hauling for these guys really hard. Is it the same for you?
It is. Dude, when you mentioned the Golden Guardians Academy thing, we had a lot of Canadians on our squad. We had Chime on the team as well.
Out.
So like we had a bunch of Canadians. So I just had like a Canadian flag in the team room. For me, there is a point of pride. There's always like that feeling of like, oh yeah, these are my boys. They have the shared experience. They always kind of treat it as like an afterthought, as you mentioned. And they probably had to go through a poor visa process, right? I know Shifter did. I remember those days. I know everybody that has to come to America from
You
Canada.
had your own visa debacles that led to Golden Guardians, did you not?
Oh my God, I did.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of that. And every point of my transition from one thing, from coaching to commentary, back to coaching, I had to deal with some shitty visas. So that happens, right? Problem is, most of them are coming in from Toronto.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
That's an issue for me.
Yeah.
That's why I feel a little bit of a closer connection to Licorice.
Yeah.
Licorice, the odd one, them boys. And Maple Street. Don't forget about that guy.
Yeah, shouts out.
So yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So the next question is, and I'm going to do this with Azael as well. I want you to build the greatest Canadian League of Legends roster of all time. And here's the thing.
Okay.
You can pick a player from a time frame. So if you want to go, I want 2018 World's Licorice with the singed pocket pick, you can like pull these guys from across the timelines to create like the Canadian Avengers. Or it would be Alpha Flight, because that's the Canadian superhero group with like Sasquatch and
That's true. You know
Captain
more than
Canuck.
I do apparently on this front. So I will say immediately, I already made the mention of Licorice. You're right.
Licorice top lane?
Yes, in 2018.
Hell
top lane Licorice, that's the easiest pick right now. Today's JojoP.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, we don't even need to put in a time frame on that brother. That brother is competing at a high level.
Just as long as it's not Fortnite JoJo. We need him to be cracked at.
We need him to be cracked at League of Legends. We need him to be good here. For me, bot lane, I have an attachment to Wild Turtle. Probably just say 2013, 2014 Wild Turtle.
Hell yeah.
That brother was only focused on the game. There's no other, like, that was just his tunnel vision.
Yeah. I mean, you could even take 2017. He won a championship here the last time it was in Canada.
That's true. 2017 was good.
That was the double lift vacation split.
That's true too. He had the revival too around 2020 during COVID times with FlyQuest. So there are a lot of eras of Wild Turtle. That's a successful one.
Hell yeah.
So I like that. Support. Ooh, I feel like I'm missing someone. It has to be Vulcan.
Yeah.
It just actually has to be Vulcan.
It has to be Vulcan.
Yeah, there's no.
That's where I was at.
Vulcan in all
Shouts out
eras.
Chime, the homie.
I was about to say, damn, I kind of want.
You want
from
Chime?
The bias. Just from the bias. I don't care if yes, I am biased. We're going with Chime.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Are we going like Golden Guardians Academy, coached by the greatest of all time?
Well, there's the TSM Chime, there's the Golden Guardians Chime. You know what? We'll do Golden Guardians Academy Chime. We'll do that one.
That's where I'm at.
Shout
I like
out
that.
to you, Chime. That
So we've got Licorice, JoJo, Vulcan, I imagine Masu.
And like Vulcan, of course, is going to be on stage, but Chime is going to be like massaging him in the shoulder. So like, we got that.
Yeah. He's the positional coach.
Yeah, and you're right. Masu for sure. But Masu versus Wild Turtle.
Oh yeah. That's a tough one.
That's a tough one. You know what? I gotta give respect to the current players right now. I gotta give respect to Masu, especially since he's still playing.
Yeah.
Then Jungle. Jungle's a hard one. So I gotta choose the guy that has a wealth of knowledge and experience. Someone that can teach these kids how to play the game, or at least give them the confidence they need. We're going back to the odd one.
Hey.
We need the odd one.
Hell yeah, dude.
I see he's like streaming variety games or anything like that, but right now, get back to League of Legends. We'll do like.
He needs to whip these kids into shape, you know?
He does.
Show
Keep him old. You know what? Today's odd one. He may not know how to play that game, but at least he could just be the veteran on the roster, the ultra veteran.
Yeah. So. Hell yeah. So our roster is Licorice, Odd One, JoJo, Masu, Vulcan, Chime Sub.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's a good one.
I think that's an awesome
and Coach
roster.
Dylan, you might need to be watching Odd One's jungle point of view and coaching him heavily. That might be a thing. He needs to get back onto snuff.
He might need to be like the Yumi on Odd One.
Yeah, I think
giving him the pathing. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And the last thing is just, how have you been enjoying this MSI? I feel like Fearless Best of 5 is just, it's brutal on the schedule. Like, these are long days where you have to be super engaged. But like, in terms of viewership experience and like getting to see these teams play, I'm loving it.
Especially since like years ago, MSI had the least, I would say, competitive format. And it was like not fun to watch because you were doing best of ones into the next stage with the Rumble stage, we did another best of ones, and you get like 3 best of 5s. Now it is the most competitive format we have in LoL Esports. It is just like best of 5s throughout, and I think with less major regions overall, you're just seeing a lot more top level play. And for whatever reason, I don't know what's going on, but like the Brazilian teams look better. Furia looks amazing. They took G2 to 5, but obviously people are going to be a hate train with G2.
I'm a new Furia fan now after that.
Exactly, and then
I saw your video with the scarf and the dance move.
That was good. Let's just, if you need more merch on my side, I will be doing more dances like that.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I think it's an amazing format, and I didn't expect it to be as competitive as it is. Like how many Game 5s we've had already.
Oh my God.
It's been fun. And CFO is the current story. Like every time.
Just like at First Stand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The only team that made it from First Stand to MSI.
Yeah.
And they're playing even better. So that is pretty crazy to see. Now I'm going to be having to watch the regular season for the LCP for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, you know, people talk about the gap is closing, and it's closing between the LCP and LPL and LCK, if you ask me.
That's true.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sitting here and talking about the True North, strong and not at all free.
Boom! Hell yes.
Hell yeah, bro.
Hell yes.
All right. Everybody, thank you to Raz for hanging out and just shooting the shit. One more to collect, and then we got our little Pokedex of Canadians. 100%. Thank you so much,
Track that Azale down. Track him down.
Oh, we will.